Okay, traders, I wanted to express my gratitude in that one of my students of the past reached out to me today, and I got some really encouraging feedback, which has really G'd me up with prospects of being able to continue with what I really enjoy the most about my job at FX Street, is engaging with our members, and especially if I'm able to add value with regards to your endeavors to become a consistently profitable trader. And what I thought I'll do is I'll just read out some of the conversation that we had, and then um, you'll understand why I've arrived at this bizarre drawing of a crocodile um, jumping out of the Congo jungle river. So, without mentioning any names, long time no speak, mate. Hope you're doing well. Hey, I'm doing well, thank you. Good to hear from you. So, I haven't heard from this member for quite some time, um, who explained that they dropped off the face of the earth, having started a new job, and they've had to change their trading hours, for which they now trade the US hours between 1:30 until 4 p.m. their time, which is roundabout at the Wall Street Open. Um, and we then get into some of his performance. So I think I can probably drag this across. I should have prepared more for this video. I'll pause the video while I download the images. Alrighty, so here's one of the trades that he was showcasing, and for those that have been following my analysis, um, you'll see that we actually spoke about this yesterday. Today being the was it the 9th of July, and this was yesterday's trade on the 8th of July. During the New York session, it's a trade that we highlighted in the Discord for everyone, and the options have taken part of that, which actually turned out to be a 5R result. I've documented about this trade already. Before he reached out, in fact, I'd already documented it and posted it in the Trend Predator channel. I did a real deep dive on this exact trade. So really pleased that this particular member caught this, and look how well they executed that. So that's absolutely brilliant. Let's move on to the conversation surrounding that. So I've said that's awesome. I posted that in the Trend Predator channel, did an in-depth written piece on it already today. They say it's the trade of the week so far for sure. So saying it was quite rightly pretty textbook, and so on. Let's get into the next trade setup that was sent over to me. Bear with me. Okay, here is the next image that was sent over to me, and this will bring us into why I've got a crocodile drawn on my screen. So look at that. Absolutely fantastic. This is the US 30 taken, I believe it's the first of the month. Now, this is a 5-star quality setup. I talk about that in my teachings. It's the start of a new month from a extreme level, and these are trades that Stacey Burke has been showcasing of late. His Ain't Coming Back series. So again, a fantastic trade taken, and this leads me to why I've got a crocodile on my screen. So this is where the story really takes off. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Let's get back to the conversation. So I note that trade that he took, and I say the croc. This was in my original library videos. It's a schematic that I taught, and he was actually, I've said, the only one who really picked up on that video, and took it away, and applied it in his trading. I mean, look at the outcome. I had actually removed it from my library because people just didn't gel with it. and my abstract way of looking at the market. Laugh out loud, like the downward dog. So bear with me. I'll just give you a snapshot of that. Right. So essentially, what I'm doing here is um, putting together. I'm a very visual person, so we all will learn in our own ways. I like videos, audio, and I like visuals. I'm not particularly great. I'm not a great reader. I could probably say, hold up my hands, I've probably read about 3 books in my life, two of them which are psychology books in trading, um, and the other one was what was the name of it? Banged Up in Bolivia, I believe it was, due to my travels around South America. Anyway, so this here, a downward dog yoga pose. This is a pump, okay? The legs, the coil, the culo, and then the sell off, the dump, all right? And this is, in fact, the first trade that he showed me, which was the one that we talked about yesterday and took in New York yesterday, all right? So these are the types of teachings that you expect from me in my coaching. And these are the sorts of outcomes, if you apply yourself, that you can expect to achieve. Okay, so let's continue. So we talk about the Dow trade, the impulsive parabolic explosive move there. And he's commenting that he loves my teachings. I love it. I wouldn't be making money consistently in the market without the way you do things. Laugh out loud. But here I am. Not here, but I'm here. After a long period of learning. And we talk about the croc setup. He said, I tried to explain what I meant to someone I speak to, and they said, surely you don't call it the croc. I said it wasn't my name. Haha. And I've said, you've inspired me to do an updated video on the croc. So this is why this video is being put together. Thanks to this member reaching out to me and really lifting my mood, geeing me up, inspiring me to continue with what I enjoy about these services at FX Street. And he went on to say, I'm more dropped in to say thanks, really, and I'm back on Discord, so I won't be a stranger no more. Thought you'd be glad to hear one of your students hasn't had a losing month since September. So he's had a 6-month winning streak, applying my teachings. So as you can imagine, that has absolutely made my week, my month so far. And we've got off to a good start. I've come back to the screens after a long period away, battling through some unfortunate personal circumstances. And this is exactly the sort of thing that what I love about this industry and my job at FX Street. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Anyone that's interested in the way that I approach the markets and my teachings and so on. And I appreciate you listening. So let's get into the croc then. And we'll save the other types of schematics for different videos, such as the downward dog. And I have a Star Wars related schematic for those that are Star Wars fans like myself, etc. And it just helps to implant these images and schematics, which are rinse and repeat trade setups. Because my question to you, if you're a trader, what trade setup are you trading today? Okay, are you going out there just swinging, a bat around, trying to hit the ball, or are you actually positioned, ready, knowing, angling yourself for what you're receiving and what you're going to throw back at the market, right? So, without further ado, let's get into the croc. So, the croc is essentially, if you regard whether it be a month, okay, let's keep this basic. So we're talking about day trading, but the market is fractal. So the croc, for me, is a day trading setup, which could be applied to a swing trading setup, but just keep it basic for today. In terms of the day, a day trade, the croc is essentially what I envisage the price doing, right? It's a crocodile coming out of the jungle river, okay, the Congo River, and lifting its head up, essentially. All right, so exploding, coming up for its prey, okay, and the prey is anyone that gets in the way of a market that is fully bullish, um, and is coiled at a level. Now, this is fantastic. It's a 5-star setup. It's at the start of a new month. It could be at the end of a new month. But essentially, it's coming out at the start of a week, coming out of the prior week's highs. Go back and look at your charts, and you will notice the tail, the body is the coil, and the head coming up for the money. Okay, and that's essentially what this is. Now, if we clean this up, if I go to a different chart without the images, okay, so we're at the same place on a clean chart, and I'm using the Trend Predator Pro here. So we've got a 2-star setup. This is the 1st of July. This is the Asian session, the London session. And just look at how beautiful this coil is. So um, the nuances of this are as follows. Um, Looking at the session, so we're above the previous week's high. We've come up, that's the crocodile's body. We've put in a low so far for the week. That's the low of this current week. Okay, and it's a W formation. Okay, so that's a bottoming pattern. Then we've got the coil into the neckline of the W formation. Okay, so there's the neckline. I'll just draw a ray on that so you can see that's the neckline. And it corresponds with the closing price of that day. Okay, so we'll just use the closing price, the blue line. And we've put in yet another attempt to the downside. So quite often you'll see these coils fake out low before the move out. So there's the V bottom as well as the double bottom or W formation. So that's all looking pretty supportive at a level, last week's highs. Okay, so we're bullish above last week's highs. Now, the current day is inside of the previous day's range. We haven't taken the high nor the low. The context is bullish. We're in an uptrend, albeit somewhat overextended, but that's not to say that an overextended market cannot remain overextended for a considerable period of time. Just because it's overextended doesn't mean it has to come back. Many retail traders fall into the trap of trying to short a market that is, in their mind, overextended. Um, so, but nonetheless, it's a cautionary setup because it is overextended. Now, the schematic, other than the crocodile, the macro schematic, other than that crocodile schematic, on the day itself, what do we have? Well, we've got a market that is still inside of yesterday's range, so we've got the high and low to play for. But because the context is bullish, we would be prudent to trade with the trend that's in place. We've come above the Asian lows. We faked out low and then we moved up. That's bullish. So as we come into our trading window, what are we looking for? We're looking for a bullish setup. Now I'm doing this somewhat blindly, even though he's shown me his trade setup. I didn't take this trade. I was on holiday. I haven't even done this in replay mode. I don't know what's going to happen next. I know that we break out, but at what point, I don't know. So let's just go through the motions. And we come into our trading window over here at 10 a.m. This is the Wall Street Open, and we have exploded to the upside. Okay, so if you're taking this on a 15-minute chart, there is your entry potentially, because what have we done? It's a parabolic breakout deathline candle. So I've gone a bit too far, so I apologize for that. But there it is. That there is an explosive candle breaking through the London highs, having had a fake out low on the Asian session, a fake out low even on the prior bar to the Wall Street Open. Fake out low, explosive bar. Now you can take that on a lower time frame, or you can just apply whichever rules you want. Mine would be having to have taken that in the open long. However, I trade from 10 a.m. onwards, so we'll have a look and see if we get an opportunity to ride that move. um, right. So what we've got now is this scenario where we have a dump and pump situation. Okay, so there's the pump, there's the coil, there's the dump into the session, bullish context in the market for a continuation long. This essentially is the crocodile's head coming up for its prey out of the Congo River. And let's forward a bit more. So now we've, what have we got here? 9:30, and we go 9:45 into 10 a.m. Okay, this is the 10 a.m. cutoff point. Well, the 10 a.m. trading window for my approach. And we bring that up. That's the wrong one. Bear with me. Be this one here then. Or no, I tell you what, it isn't. Okay, that should be all right. In fact, it's because I don't trade the Owanda. Right. Okay, so now we've got this 15-minute close outside of the opening range, initial balance, opening range of the day, which is 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. You can also apply a 9:30 or a 9:45 or a 9:15 to 9:45 to 10 a.m. window, whatever your preference is. Mine at the moment for teaching, just to keep things simple, is 9 until 10 a.m. That's the opening range. And at this point, what I'm looking for is an entry point. Now, we've already got this fake out low in the 15-minute. We've got an explosive market. We've already had a pullback. So let's go down to a 5-minute chart. What I'm looking for is within that breakout candle is the fake out low. And that's what we've got. So I'm straight in on that. Straight in on that. I'm looking for a 100% range expansion of the opening range. And there it is. Now, at that point, you're deciding whether you want to hold on to the trade. You've already banked 4R. If you want to hold on to it, you can do. You can take your 4R. Again, you can micromanage this however you want to take that, but we have prospects of a 200% range expansion. Okay. Now, this for me is a 5-star setup. It would be worth holding on to. Day 2, breaking out of a coil, range expansion of the coil, start of a new month, fresh money, a new plan in the market, high volumes being traded, and you may find that we get a 200% range expansion. This could be a swing trade, and you can just hold on to it. You can take the majority off. I mean, look at this. This is already a coil there. We're coming up now towards the end of the day, so you'd just be deciding to, take your money. You've got 4R there at that 100% range expansion, or you can hold on to it. You can hold on to that for as long as you like until you achieve your targets, whatever you think you might get. I mean, we're still in a bullish context, and do we get there or not? I don't know. I can't recall what's happening. Okay, so there you go. So it's starting to implode. Again, you're still holding on to that. You break even on whatever you've left in the market. I've no idea if this eventually goes up or if this comes down. I should do, but I'm bogged down with all other assets and I can't remember what I traded today, let alone. There you go. So there, eventually gets there, and it continues. You might be holding on that for many more days and weeks to come. Okay, so that there is a description of the crocodile setup, and there it is in all its glory. Fantastic outcome, and I'm again really pleased with the feedback I got from my members. So we'll leave it there. May the markets go with you, traders, as my mentor Stacey Burke always said. And thank you very much for tuning in, and good luck with all of your endeavours.